Alright, so here's another one for the gods, because it has been a while since I sort of done them. Now, I'm doing them out here because, as you can see, we had a bit of a fire before. Not really the funnest thing to happen in this beautiful area, but hey, just like a phoenix, I'm sure something more beautiful will arise upon it. So there is that. Now, obviously, this isn't my main theme for the video, but I thought I'd show it because, holy crap, was it crazy. I mean, look. Good thing it was only for one little area, hopefully. Now, am I still going to be in focus? Cool, sorry about that. I'm in manual focus, so I'm kind of like trying manual focus out and such like that. So I figured I'd try like that because it's a warm day. Even though I've got an ND filter on it, it's not the most gracious ND filter, so I've got to make sure I've got things changed around and all that, so it's not as fun. But I'm using my new cage, which is nice, so you can see more, and I guess, and I can kind of control how far away it is instead of being all like, oh gosh. So there is that. Anyway, let's get into the video because I wanted a video. So a while back, about a week ago, I was on Facebook and I saw one of those science places because, you know, I do believe in science, and I would argue that science is a religion that for the most part works. When they're wrong, they tell you you're wrong. They are, and if anything, they're also the sort of thing that can probably prove the impossible, as though the people say that the impossible isn't possible. I don't know. Like I said, if science can prove that the multiverse exists, and technically the impossible is possible, but hey, that might be into philosophy sort of angle there. So we probably don't want to get into that just yet. Although we could. Huh. And it is hot outside. Yeah, no, that's 290s. I was born in the 90s, but I'm not going to look like some asshole from the 90s. Ugh. Anyway, in the article it said something about the Bible and how none of them existed, or there was like something about the apostles. And for one split second, one fleeting moment, I said, oh, get fucked. And I know what you're thinking, why? And I said the same thing because I looked back at myself and I said, why did I say that? I don't care about the Bible. I don't care about if any of those apostles existed, because the idea was it was the apostle, they found his bones or whatever, one of them, but it was like fake or whatever, and which, you know, whatever. But I'm like, hang on, why do I care? Why do I care about an apostle of the Bible and stuff? And I think it's two reasons for that split second, that fleeting moment of get fucked. One, I unfortunately did believe in God, sort of. I say sort of because as a kid growing up, my primary school was a Lutheran school and a Catholic school. And when you're a kid, you try to fit in, even at schools. Well, yes, I try to fit in, therefore I did delve into the Bible and stuff. Well, sort of. I only read the Bible in Bible class, and even then I was bored shitless, so there's that. But I did sort of believe in God. Well, sort of. But then over time I kind of just grew out of it, and even before, I just want to point this out, even before I went to those Lutheran and Catholic schools, I still loved the Norse and Vikings and shit like that. So, you know, in the long run, I actually was probably even in a better moment. But that doesn't stop the fact that I did sort of have that belief system, right? Trying to find another area that's not just the same area over and over again, especially since it's a dead one. So this has some shade. Right, anyway, this is shady enough and somewhat interesting background. Oof, that was a glaring moment. So, I could probably try holding it like this actually. So, as a kid, that is what kind of happened. Now, like I said, I still grew up with Vikings and stuff, and I still liked them before I even went to the Catholic school. I went to a normal school, and then a Lutheran school, and then a Catholic school. But this still doesn't stop the fact that, in a way, I did have that sort of religious aspect of Christ and Lutheran or Catholic or whatever the hell it's called. There's too many variations of the same thing in that religion. Granted, over time, I did get out of it, and even when I believed in it, I was a bit bored of it. Nothing made sense. Because here's the thing. it was cultish. I'm not gonna lie. I do have a hate for the Catholic religion and Lutheran religion because it's very cultish. I know that because I was a part of that in a way. I went there, I was a part of it, and my gods, it was very, very cultish. It just felt cultish. The way that people would explain away things by saying it's God's plan and all the bad things in the world and just so many other things. I just wasn't a fan. Like over time, I just didn't like it. I didn't like how controlling that religion was. How you couldn't respect gay people or trans people or anything like that, and it just didn't work for me. It just over time, it wasn't a religion I dealt with. It didn't deal with me physically or emotionally. It just wasn't my thing. It just didn't make any sense to me. It still doesn't, but hey. And I think that's one of the reasons as to why I said get fucked on that article, because I still have remnants of that belief system within me. Granted, I don't agree with that belief system anymore, but hey, it's still there, and still was a part of my life growing up where you could argue it was a bit of a cult perspective, right? Which is, that's life. And then I thought to myself, does that mean that I have an issue with, like, am I being terrible to my gods now? And I'm thinking no, because the idea is if you have an old belief or you had no belief and you come into this religion, I think it's a good thing to kind of get that out there and say what you want. Another one is obviously if they prove that God isn't real, then you could also prove that my gods, the AC and the Vanya, aren't real. Which is a bit scary when you think about it. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to do a bit of a quick change. We'll be right back. Okay, so had to make a new area. So this is quite nice. Kind of a pretty-ish good background. Now, I don't feel as enthusiastic as I did before because, unfortunately, with that destroyed area from the fire, it does feel a bit like there's been a bit of a drain. I do feel a bit drained, and it hurts. Because beforehand, there was a beauty of this place, and when winter came around, everything winter and autumn, it just blossomed into something so beautiful. And now that's there, even though, like I said, like a phoenix, something beautiful rise in its place, it still doesn't stop the fact that actually hurts quite a bit of what has happened here. And I don't even know what happened. Obviously a fire, but we don't know if it was just started by somebody or it was just a bad, unfortunate accident. Who knows? But that does hurt, because beforehand, like I said, there was a lot of magic here, a lot of beautiful, like an essence, Walking here at certain times of day, you could feel something. You could feel a passion and a love. And just walking past that, all I feel is just dread and like death. So that doesn't feel the best for me, but it is what it is. Now, going on to the topic at hand. Look, it was something that I had in my life, but it was very cultish. And even though there were times where I dwelled into it, I never read the Bible. I read aspects, and the only time I would read the Bible outside of life would be, I think, for like one or two passages. I just don't care for it. And when I did read the Bible, it was in Bible studies. Right, so I didn't go that far in it. I never really cared for the teachings. There were some things I liked in it. I liked the flaming swords, and I did like the four horsemen, though granted that's basically an interpretation of the Wild Hunt, I'd argue, but hey, I did think those were cool. But everything else, I just don't care. I think that religion is way overused. I also hate the fact that it's a very controlling religion. Like I said before, it's too controlling. For me, believing the Aesir and the Vanir, it's very open, and you can tell, with the Aesir and the Vanir, bad things happen because the gods are as human as us, and in their way, they want us to do our own path and our own thing. And they will help guide us if needed. With God, it's like he loves all of us and he will always love us. There was a tsunami that killed millions of people, or thousands of people or whatever. That's his plan, really. And granted, a lot of this hate comes from the people that twist the words. And I think that's another thing, the badness of people believing in something and twisting those words so it feels like it's anger and it's stupid. I hate that. And I'd argue that's where most of my anger comes from when it comes to that religion. Because in the end, I do think God, Jesus, the Holy Trinity, or whatever the fuck that is, they could sit in a golden hall and they could drink mead and have a good time with the gods, our gods, the Aesir and the Vanir. I believe that. I believe that they could coexist in a great way. So thinking on that and reflecting on that, I want to say it's the hatred that I have for that religion, it is the people. It's the people that have twisted it, and I want to get rid of the hatred that I have for those gods, the Holy Trinity, God, Jesus, whatever. I kind of want to say that, I want to throw that away. I want to throw that past of my life away. Yes, there was a cultish aspects to it. There was a belief system that's been completely overturned by people over so many instances of years and perspectives. I definitely took that out on everything that had to teach. And I know it's not all bad in the Bible. I know it's not. But it's pretty fucked up when you think about it as well. So, I guess this is a kind of video of me explaining that old life that I had, a life that I didn't have the most strong connection to, I want to throw away. But I also want to throw away that hate I had for most of that religion in terms of the deities that were a part of it. I still hate the people that take aspects of that faith and just distort it and ruin it, just like they do with ours. I hate that. I hate people that take our symbols and our religion and use it for, say, white supremacy. That's fucking dumb. Same reason as to those that take the ideas of the Bible and twist it and skew it and use it to control people. That's extremely fucking dumb. I'm just saying. So in the end, me saying this, it just feels good to kind of get that off the chest. This was something that I went from just having a swift moment of, wow, how dare you say that about the Bible in a way, or people in the Bible, to me reflecting on my religion with the ace and the vanity, to me just saying that maybe in the end I needed to give up. Not give up, give up that anger that I had for that religion. So kind of feels good to say that, actually. Like, it does. I guess that's something to import to everybody else. If you have a hatred for a religion or another deity, in the end, it's mostly brought upon by the people that have interpreted that religion. At least that's what I've kind of perceived. And yeah, but like I said, raise your horns to the gods, to the Aesir, to the Vanir. Hope that the wisdom comes from Odin, the strength from Thor, the love from Frigg and Freya. And be happy knowing that in the end, the other gods, hopefully, from Greek to Catholicism or whatever like I said, there's way too many spin-offs of that religion. In the end, I do feel like all those gods would enjoy each other god's company. So don't hate the people more so than the religion itself, I would argue. Granted, there are things in the Bible that it's really fucking stupid, but hey, it is what it is. This was a weird video to make, but I feel like this was a video I needed to make. So in the end, thank you for listening to a rumblings of a heathen who has finally said goodbye to a part of him that never really needed to be there. It didn't need to be there. I didn't have to believe what the Lutheran church and school that I went to gave me, nor the Catholic one. I didn't have to. And in a way, I'd argue that parts of my life were controlled by that in a cultish way. And yeah, but in the end, I got out of it. I found older gods that felt true to me and my ancestors. It felt right. And to me, in any religion, if it feels right, then that's what matters. If what you believe in feels right, that's what you should go for. But don't hold a hatred for any other religion, because it does hurt in the end, and it does make you think on the religion you believe in now and kind of think like, do you deserve it? You do deserve to believe in whatever you want to believe in. Just throw away that hate and you will feel better. Because I do. Anyway, long video. Anyway, Aussie Viking out. I'll see you all in Valhalla. Bye.